Well, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Jay, and I'm coming to you from the playground of Cornerstone Church here at the edge of Winchendon, Massachusetts. And I thought it would be good for me to talk for a few minutes about our little town here. Winchendon is a town that has, like so many American towns, been through its ups and downs. I've lived here for most of my 58 years. A few years that I wasn't really involved in town. Of course, when I was married, we lived in Gardner, which is the neighboring town, but I was still very involved because I was pastoring here at Cornerstone in Winchendon. So always been involved in Winchendon. My mother lived here her entire life. Her mother before her and her grandmother before her lived here in Winchendon. So our family has seen a lot of the history of this little place. And like I said, it's been through its ups and downs, and currently it's facing yet another challenge. Like so many towns in the United States right now, we are facing the issues of rising inflation and the upheaval that's currently going on in our government and in our culture. And there are lots of things that are causing issues within our town. Financially speaking, we're facing, again, like many American towns today, a budget shortfall. And that budget shortfall happens to be in the area of $4.5 million. It's such that it looks like if we do not vote, here in Massachusetts we have Proposition 2.5, which is this law that only allows governments to raise taxes 2.5% a year. And of course, this year, if we are going to face this budget shortfall, the taxes have to go up more than 2.5%. And so if we do not vote an override of 2.5 this year, we will see by June 30th of 2025 the closing of our town library and its decertification. We'll see the closing of our senior center, and we'll see the shutting down of our parks and rec department. Now, these three entities within our town have been doing a wonderful job of uplifting the culture of Winchendon at a time when the culture all around us is kind of falling into chaos. And so losing these three entities is not a small deal. They are the chief agents that are bringing unity and sort of depth of artistry and culture to our community. You know, Jesus had these words for people who were considering following him. He said, if anybody's going to follow me, let him count the cost. Now, I'd like to pour this over into the idea of our little town here. It's time for us to count the cost. And it's not just about Winchendon, because like I said, towns throughout America are facing these same kind of battles. And you know, there's not an option for us as citizens of our towns where there's not a price to pay. In other words, there's going to be a price to pay for Winchendon, whether we vote to override our taxes and pay the $4.5 million out of our pocket, or whether we choose to shut down the library and the senior center and the parks and rec department. We're going to lose a lot one way or the other. And so it's really coming down to a question of what kind of town do we want to have. And for myself, I just have to say I've really been enjoying the works that these organizations have been putting in. I don't know which way the town's going to vote. There are moments where I'm not sure where I'm going to vote because, frankly, the cost is high. And the cost is high on either end. And so I'm really praying into and asking God to show me what his will and his desire is for our town. I know that we are supposed to keep moving forward in the area of building cultural unity. And so if the town votes this down, then we have a lot of work to do as volunteers to continue to build unity and to continue to build cultural enrichment into our society. I can't tell anybody what to do, but I know that regardless of what decision we make, there's a price to pay. You're either going to pay it out of your wallet, or you're going to pay it out of your time and your talent in big ways. Even still, that said, we will lose an awful lot. There are certain things we can't avoid. There are certain losses we can't overcome simply by saying, well, I'll volunteer extra hours to the town. There are still things that we're going to have to lose and we're going to have to figure out as a town. And I want to say that it's every town in America. It's every town in our culture. It's every city that now has to ask these questions. And our society is sick. Our society is struggling. And it's time that we made some decisions towards health. I'm really praying into this one for our town, and I am really counting the cost. I hope that you're doing the same. Until we meet again, God bless you and be at peace.